And so the big kind of touch in when it comes to, how high school impacted your every other decision to do with being misguided, I wanted to ask, from your perspective, of course, like your first person, how much, how what was the word? Responsible, right? Was the contributing factor. Why am I missing out my words? Obviously, I think it's because we've got the context. We hadn't mentioned the context, but yeah, we know that you have Asperger's. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so the question would be that how much do you think that was the affecting factor?
I guess it was like 50%, you know what I'm saying? Like the problem was like, it also existed back in primary school when I was in preschool. I didn't really understand why I was getting bullied and all that.
Yeah, because you were definitely getting bullied.
Yeah, I was definitely getting bullied fuck ton. But literally, it's like, it was just the way how I interacted, the way how I talked to people, the way how I responded.
Well, Asperger's is a social thing, right?
Yeah.
It's such an unfortunate one because it's such a, what do you call it? Like, there's no bad intention about it. It's just like the way you present yourself. It just, I feel like if social interaction is like a rhythm, it's like your rhythm's out of rhythm with everyone else's rhythm.
Yeah.
And because you're doing that growing up from a young age, children, they're not very sensitive, are they?
Yeah.
And so things are very real and very raw, and they come out that way. And I can imagine being in your position, you're sitting there going, like, because you can only translate, what am I doing? I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not trying to be bad to anyone. I'm not trying to hurt anyone. I'm only doing like what I think is correct.
Yeah.
But and because I mean, even what is wrong, well, you haven't done anything wrong. It's just like the word socially unacceptable is not correct. It's more so like it's odd. That's all. It stands out like little things. Like for example, because I don't even know a good example of socially. I don't want to like. Well, actually, you give me an example. You're the person who's gone through it. What things did you go through high school, kind of primary, that where like you would do a certain thing in your mind, you think this is fine, but everyone else is responding like there's an issue?
I try to act weird. I try to act cool. I try to impress people. I try to get them to like me, but really, it's just repulsing me. It's getting repulsed.
Do you feel like the trying to get people to like you and all that was as a result of people not liking you?
Yeah.
Because I'll give you that. Like, I mean, I went through my fair level of, high school experiences and bullying and things like that. I mean, my thing is like, you don't know that you're weird, right?
I didn't know that was weird at that time.
Oh, to be honest, like even me now, like, I have ADHD, right? So I know that going to school I was kind of annoying, I was distracting, right? But I never felt that I was weird. I just felt like I'm normal. Like this is how it is.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
And maybe when I'm older now, I notice like around me, people get exhausted. They're tired. I've got a lot of energy. And I notice that I'm like, oh, okay, this is why I'm a little bit different and more self-aware. But yeah, back in school, like I always grew up thinking I was probably trying to act cool, but I always thought that, yeah, I'm fine. Like I'm one of the normal people. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think there was anything wrong with me. But it just felt like everyone else seemed to have an issue.
True.
It was such a weird thing, eh?
Yeah.
It was like, why is everyone being like this to me and I don't know why? But everyone knows why. Everyone's looking at me like, yeah, we're like this to you, to him because he's presenting across, like, weird.
Yeah, that's the way it is. Like, you don't know that you're weird within yourself. Like, people with these type of certain disabilities, they don't know that they have this weird capacity within them.
Because it's
only when they grow.
Yeah, and it has the alienating effect, right?
Yeah,
and which makes it worse because now I'm apparently whatever I'm doing is wrong and weird, but I think I'm normal, and then the response I've gotten from you guys is you're treating me negatively. So I want to obviously feel this desire to impress and live up to expectations. You want to be the cool person, the in person, Think about every time during school when you're like the down person and if something good happens to you and everyone's kind of just nice for that fucking 30 seconds, 1 minute, everyone's kind of nice to you, or on your birthday, stuff like that, Yeah. That definitely, it feeds into a lot of like why. I mean, explains to me. Remember what you said? That whole wanting to impress people.
Yeah, wants to impress people. Like
you see how that fed into the pyramid scheme and things like that.
Yeah, like I wanted to go out and impress people, to show off. Like that's the reason why I did music and dancing for the wrong reasons.
You got into it with the idea of like, I just want. Yeah, I've spent so much time not being accepted. I want to show these people who don't accept me that I can be accepted by like the world, fame and stuff like that.
That's what it did. That was the reason why I started the music.
So
just
that's
for the
why
wrong
you
reasons.
started. But then when you realized that was not a good reason, that's not a pure reason to do this.
Yeah.
What was the reason you stayed?
It It was because I wanted to inspire people through my music, and through my sounds, and through my pain. Because whatever I put out there, and the tracks that I've produced so far, I'm not here to go out and impress people. I'm only singing from my perspectives. Like, I've done it. So now I'm just singing from my perspectives. I'm just telling my story. So right now, like, whatever I'm releasing, I'm not going to spoil too much of it, but it's just based on how I felt in that moment and how I grew up around me. And then as soon as my life goes on, when I experience more, it's easy for me to write about those things. So it's more like therapy for me, you know what I'm saying?
I see. Would you now say, and this isn't like a way to discredit or nothing like that, but I feel like it's a kind of approach that most people have.
Yeah.
When it comes to the correct approach when it comes to this kind of artistic world, where you're making things that make you comfortable, make you happy.
True.
You're not gonna let. Sometimes you make something, you get 4,000 views, 5,000 views, you make $20. Great. Sometimes you make something, you get 2 views, 300 views, no likes.
Yeah.
Great. Is that the feeling?
That's the feeling. Like, for me, whenever I post content on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, like, the most you can do is watch. I don't really care if you leave a reaction or comment. That's up to you. If you're willing to go out of your way to do that, do that. But the main reason why I post is just to try and gain an audience, to try to get people to follow me, just get people to catch up on me, like, you know, just to get people to gain an audience, even if they try to hate. Like,
well, I mean,
I
think
still audience.
It seems to me you understand that whole thing when it comes to this art, right? There's no point me trying to convince you to like my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep making my stuff. If you don't like it, you won't watch it, and if you do like it, you will.
Yeah. Simple.
Well, with this podcast thing, and I mean, sometimes I think I say it just to make myself feel better, but I mean it when I say, what does it say? The podcast is for me. The episodes are for me. I'm the one who makes them, and then I'm the one who, even if I don't have to rewatch them, I have to re-listen to them so I can take notes and make the snippets and stuff. So I'm just making it because the story of Alan is a story for me. You know, I like the story and what he tells me. Listening to it brings kind of fruition for myself.
For sure.
Know, by learning snags and issues that you hit. You know, I'm sure there are people who similar situation like yours, similar goals. You can see how, like, you know, your experience might save a lot of people some time, some heartache, eh?
Yeah, of course. Like, I want to speak up for the young people who's going through a hard time. I've been through my share, so it's easy for me to market towards them. Yeah.
I mean, imagine talking to someone about a pyramid scheme, telling them not to go into one.
That would be awesome. And although I might potentially end up getting a fucking case against the old pyramid scheme team. Like, it's actually common. Like, if you try to warn people about it, they would say this actually happened. So if you try to warn people about the reality of pyramid scheme team, you know what happens?
What?
Now you end up getting a case against them for possible defamation.
Yeah.
But I know why they're doing this. It's because they want to get more money out of you. I'm like, I just recovered, and the old boss is trying to take legal action on me. I'm like, what the fuck?
So how are you going with this? Is this stuff ongoing? What's going on?
It's not going right now, but literally, I pretty much blocked them all off. I'm like, I pretty much fucked them off. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's not my duty to bring them down or whatever. I'm like, all right, I'll let them do their thing. But eventually, they'll come to a point where they will crash. Anyways, that's pretty much.
They'll crash because the model doesn't work, right?
The model doesn't work. It happened once a year after I got kicked out.
Well, to be honest, I'm actually going to ask, like, look, how have I don't know if you know, but pyramid schemes been now in the whole landscape of COVID? Because I haven't heard much, you know what I mean?
Oh, well, to be honest with you, it's like, it's starting to pick up a bit. It's actually starting to pick up.
As in they're doing a bit better now?
They're doing a bit better for some reason. Or it could be a facade. Or it could be a facade where they rent out certain places just so that it looks like they're doing big things.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all like, if you don't know, since
I was
into
they
myself,
run those seminars, or they do those charity dinner, or not charity dinner. They do those dinners and stuff.
They go into these fake studios. It's all set up.
Dude,
but that's the reality. Like, it's also the reality of the record label industry and the music industry as well. But pretty much going back to what we did in high school, it's like, not being accepted was my motivation for my music. Not being accepted. Like, when I was young, I was so frustrated, angry, pissed off at myself that I can't fit in. But then as I got older, that was the reason why I became the person of today. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you, all these people that gave me a hard time.
I have to beep the school. I did that for Andrew as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
my bad.
No,
Yeah.
that's right. Just don't say it again. But yeah, no, because the only reason is like I have to go find where you said it and go, that's where he said it. Beep.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
maybe
More
for
work for me.
sensitive reason. But
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much like, yeah, I accepted within myself. I started becoming a lot more secure.
Mm.
I don't have much friends, to be honest, but I do have real friends that care about me.
Keep your circles small, right?
I keep my circle small. Like the
Very
realest
small.
friends will have this smaller circle. And to be honest with you, I don't really care if you go out and party, like I'm
Mm.
okay with not partying, clubbing,
Mm.
drinking, all that. Because
Well,
I've realized it's all just set up just to
Because
hide
you're trying to be a
insecurities.
producer, not a consumer. You're trying to be the music that people club and party to. You don't want to be out there clubbing and partying to other people's musics.
Yeah.
You're trying to be the creator.
If I want to go to a club or if I want to go to a party, it's either have something to celebrate about or if I want to perform. That's it. There's no point going out every Saturday night just to get fucked up drunk. Like even last night, even
Mhm.
though I went out to a dinner with a couple of my friends,
Yeah, mad
I wa-
invite. Thanks for inviting me, my friend.
I just went back home, just went back into making music and went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. Like I was producing a beat. Like I finished up at that time.
Mm.
And I got my family cake just to show gratitude for,
Being your family.
yeah. I got
That's
them a
nice.
pretty expensive
Is that
cake.
something
so
that
yeah.
you do? You do
often-
these like random bits of kind, not random
Yeah.
acts of kindness, but like Andrew. When I had Andrew on the podcast.
Yeah.
So Andrew, I think he caught a bus to mine, and he was cool to catch the bus back. But I had the car, so I was like, no, I'll give you a lift home. Let's go into Bankstown. We'll get some. I forgot where we're going to Bankstown. But then when we got there, he was like, oh, since you're giving me a lift, Simon, do you mind if I go buy some roast duck for my siblings? And I kind of looked at him like, yeah, man, do that, because like. Fuck yeah, but like his whole, he's the older brother, so kind of bringing this like, because they like it's only like because they know he went out,
Yeah.
so when he's gone out, he wants to bring something home to them. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, I'm so jealous I don't have no siblings. Are you an only child?
I've got two younger siblings,
Exactly.
two younger sisters as well.
Yeah, see,
I bought them a pretty expensive Korean cake.
there you go.
$50.
How
though,
old are your
like-
sisters?
Oh, one's in university, gonna turn 20. One's turning 17 this year.
Okay.
They're quite grown up now.
Yeah, like, fuck.
Even though sometimes they give me a bit of a hard time here and there, I still look out for
You
them.
love them, bro.
sometimes.
It's your family.
But in terms of career choices, that's up to them.
Why?
Yeah, because like I can't really make them what they want to do.
Mm.
It's either within themselves. But of course, my family's trying to get my younger sister to go into medicine and all that. Like, it's like family status and all that. Like, come on.
You think she can do it?
I looked into her. I feel like she's only doing it for my parents' sake, and she's actually suffering inside, which is the reason why I sympathize with her attitude. Even though she gives me a hard time, I sympathize with her attitude because my parents are pushing into something that she doesn't want to do.
What did your parents push you to do?
My parents wanted me to do the usual typical. Yeah.
But
the
you're
usual
obviously
typical.
not doing that.
Nah, I'm doing music.
Hmm.
But to be honest with you, it's like for all the lost people out there, like you have to find out what wakes you up in the morning. You have to find out why you're living, why you're here in this world. The thing is, if you're here just for your part-time, for your job or your office job,
For the
okay,
hours,
cool.
yeah.
That's on you. But if you find out your true why, oh my god, you won't even have to work hard like you want to. Like you don't
Yeah.
even need to work that hard.
Hmm.
Like I went to bed at 1 o'clock producing a beat, repeating myself, and I felt like I achieved something.
Yeah.
Many achievements along the way.
It didn't feel like a waste of time at all, hey?
No.